when one is crowned as one of the modern kings of the era, the way the expectation becomes both a gift and a curse. To be granted such reverence is to owe something greater in return, not more talent, but transcendence. It is no longer enough to be good, one must embody greatness. It is no longer enough to win, one must conquer with conviction and purpose. For anything less invites doubt, giving voice to those who wait eagerly to declare that the crown was never truly yours, that the legend was built on illusion rather than destiny. After a controversial loss turned draw, and a comeback fight in a new division that many viewed as an underwhelming performance, Devin Haney once again displays his trademark competitive fire. He now dares challenge the undefeated WBO Welterweight World Champion, Brian Norman Jr., 28-0 with 22 knockouts. A fighter not only larger in stature, but also known for punishing power that could easily recall the left hook that once sent Haney to the canvas. The stakes could not be higher. A victory of this magnitude will restore the respect and aura surrounding Haney's name, reaffirming his place among boxing's elite. For Norman Jr., a win would solidify his dominance and validate his claim as the top champion of the welterweight division. This clash pits the master technician against raw power and explosiveness. A battle that could redefine the landscape of the welterweight division and test the limits of both fighters' legacies. Devin Haney's archetype is that of a master boxer, a cerebral craftsman who wins rounds through clarity, control, and composure. His fights often resemble chess matches, where each exchange is calculated. Every adjustment serves to dismantle the opponent's rhythm, piece by piece. Haney's boxing style is the embodiment of a peer technician and ring general, a fighter who commands distance, tempo, and control through intelligence rather than brute force. Haney establishes authority with one of the sharpest jabs in modern boxing, a weapon he uses not just to score points, but to dictate rhythm and disrupt opponents' timing. His stance is upright and balanced, allowing him to glide effortlessly around the ring, maintaining range while keeping his defensive structure intact. Haney's entire approach is built on pinpoint accuracy and discipline. He measures every movement, rarely overextends, and constantly resets to neutralize counters. Defensively, he blends subtle head movement with quick retreats and pivots, making them exceptionally difficult to hit cleanly. Meanwhile, his offense is based on clean, accurate punching rather than overwhelming power. Combinations are thrown with purpose, often ending with the check hook to re-establish control. Brian Norman Jr.'s archetype is that of a reactive aggressor, a fighter who feeds off momentum and thrives in exchanges where timing and instinct override calculation. Norman Jr. represents a very different archetype, that of an explosive pressure counterpuncher, a fighter who thrives on chaos, athleticism, and instinctive timing. His style is built around dynamic movement and sudden bursts of aggression, blending raw physicality with sharp countering instincts. Norman fights with a fluid stance, often switching angles mid-combinations to create openings. He uses feints and upper body rhythm to draw reactions, then explodes with fast, compact punches that carry real stopping power. Unlike Haney's measured control, Norman's rhythm is unpredictable. He can box patiently from range one moment, to then lunge forward with a flurry the next. His defense relies more on reflexes and athletic reactions than structure, often using those defensive movements to launch counters in the same motion. What defines Norman's style is his ability to transition fluidly between offense and defense, turning opponents' attacks into opportunities for punishment.
The reaction here from Atlanta.
When Haney and Norman Jr. step into the ring, the strategies will reflect the essence of the contrasting styles. Haney's cerebral control versus Norman's explosive unpredictability. Each man will enter with a clear plan tailored to his strengths and to the vulnerabilities he perceives in the other. The fight will not only be a clash of styles, but a battle of rhythm, discipline, and psychological control. Haney's strategy will revolve around neutralizing chaos and establishing dominance through control of distance and timing. He will aim to keep the fight at mid to long range, where his jab and footwork can dictate the pace. Haney's jab, fast, precise, and disruptive will be his primary weapon, used to keep Norman off balance and prevent him from setting his feet for explosive attacks and catching counters. While Norman has shown to fight well against boxers who come to win, how will he fare when he has to go looking for Haney? Expect Haney to circle away from Norman's power side, pivoting constantly to maintain angles and avoid being trapped. He will likely focus on body jabs and straight rights to sap Norman's energy early, forcing him to think before committing to wild exchanges. Defensively, Haney will rely on a disciplined guard, quick step backs, and clinch control when Norman closes the distance. His goal will be to frustrate Norman, make him miss, to then counter when Norman overcommits, gradually breaking his rhythm and confidence. The weakness Haney will look to exploit is Norman's tendency to fully commit during offensive bursts. Norman's aggression, while dangerous, can leave him open to counters and off balance if timed correctly. Haney will aim to draw those mistakes out, punish them with precision, and turn Norman's aggression against them. Brian Norman Jr.'s strategy, in contrast, will be to disrupt Haney's rhythm, suffocate distance, and force exchanges that take Haney out of his comfort zone. Norman knows that Haney thrives when he can control tempo and space, so his mission will be to break that structure through pressure and unpredictability. He must shut down the slip past Haney's jab to get onto the inside. Once there, Norman will look to unload short, explosive combinations that'll test Haney's composure under fire. He will also aim to make the fight physical, using rough tactics in the clinch and force Haney to fight at a higher tempo than he prefers. The weakness Norman will try to exploit is Haney's occasional vulnerability under sustained pressure, even testing that guard against the lethal left hook, a punch that Haney had a lot of issues with against Garcia, a punch in which Norman Jr. possesses. While Haney's defense is solid, he can be forced into holding or retreating when an opponent maintains intensity and refuses to let him reset. Norman will want to capitalize on those moments, preventing Haney from dictating the rhythm and forcing him into uncomfortable exchanges where Norman's athleticism and power can shine.
Boom, and this is the finish right here. To the canvas, baby. You know what? Quavers.
As Haney and Norman Jr. prepare for battle, the questions surrounding the bout go far beyond simple predictions. They cut to the heart of what defines each fighter. The biggest question is whether Haney, the master technician, can handle the kind of sustained pressure and physicality of a true welterweight like Norman brings. Haney has built his career on range management and control, but Norman's explosive aggression threatens to drag him into the kind of chaotic exchanges he typically avoids. For Haney, maintaining composure under that kind of heat will be crucial. On the other hand, Norman must prove he can take away space and trap Haney effectively. Haney's footwork and jab are designed to neutralize pressure fighters, so Norman's ability to close distance and keep him from resetting will determine whether he can impose his will. Another major storyline centers on whether Haney's outboxing can neutralize Norman's athleticism. Haney's sharp timing and clean technique could expose the gaps in Norman's game, but Norman's unpredictability overwhelms Haney's structure before those adjustments take effect. The mental battle will also be key. Haney's discipline and ring IQ often frustrate opponents into mistakes, and Norman will need to stay composed if Haney slows the fight down and refuses to engage on his terms. Power is another question mark. Haney is known for accuracy, not stopping power, and if Norman can walk through his shots without hesitation, Haney may struggle to keep him off. And with the left hook still fresh on Haney's mind, how will he react when he feels the same power? Will he revert to continuous movement and tying up? Or will he fold under fire? Endurance could be the deciding factor. Haney's conditioning and pacing are among the best in the sport, while Norman's style, built on bursts of energy, demands careful management over 12 rounds. If Norman fades late, Haney's consistency could take over. Ultimately, the emotional tempo of the fight may decide everything. Haney thrives in calm, calculated exchanges. Norman thrives in chaos and momentum. The fighter who controls that emotional rhythm, who dictates whether the bout unfolds as a chess match or a storm, will likely determine the outcome. The fight is not just a contest of skill, but of identity. Control versus disruption. Patience versus pressure. Calculation versus instinct. puncher's joy is found when the boxer stands before them. But tell me this, when the rabbit is cut loose onto the open field and the target won't stay still, where does the punch land? And who truly takes the hit? Devin Haney by unanimous decision.